just in case anybody can't join in. So Angela, I see you're here. Thankfully, you guys got back from practice and stuff. So that's awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I do have something a little bit different than some of the things that we've done before. I kind of modified it. I was telling Ellen I was all excited because I kind of changed things up a little bit. This is our October team training. So what goes with October but Halloween. So let me go ahead and share my screen, and I will go ahead and, whoops, let me go ahead and put this on. I got to move this down a little bit. I want to put this on my, where'd it go? Presentation screen. So if you're not using Canva, I told Christy today I was so excited because of, I figured out how to use Canva, although of course, when I'm trying to explain it to people, it's not going to work, but there we go. All right, so.
Love Canva.
Yay! I know, and I'm like totally loving this. So we had one new team member. Now, Ellen, I know you had a new team member last month too, but I didn't know until just a little while ago that you guys were going to join in. So I don't have anything to share with about your team. But is any of your new team members on?
Adele and Monica are both on, and they are new. Adele joined in October. Yeah, so she just joined this weekend. And then Monica, I think, Monica, your date was like, wasn't it August 27th? So you were, I think it was August 27th. So she was actually August, but got rolling in September. Okay. That's what I think it was, something like that. But they're both relatively new, so yay!
Yay! Welcome, welcome. So for my personal team, for Team Mimosa, we had one new team member in September, which was Maritza. So welcome, and yeah, so congratulations and thank you for joining our team. So, all right. So I have, and like I said, Ellen, this is my team stats that we're doing. So our team stats, our goal was $10,000 for team sales. We had 11,473. So congratulations and woo, way to go, everybody. So awesome. Our organizational sales were 83,617. Our goal was 100,000, so we were a little bit short on that goal. But let me just tell you guys, our organizational sales so far for the year are like a few dollars away from 800,000.
Wow, that's
for
awesome.
Our organization to be hitting $1 million this year is completely out of it, like blown away. I'm just so excited about that. And last year I had stated before that we had a goal of reaching 100 new consultants. Well, we are going to hit that this year. I think we were at like 85 or something for an organization. So I haven't completely checked. All right. Okay, wait a minute. The only thing about doing Zoom, I've got to get back into the, hold on just a second. All right, so I can't admit people when I'm sharing my screen. So I had somebody saying, hey, I'm waiting, I'm trying to get in. So, all right, so Jocelyn, let me share my screen again. So we have some awesome goals that we're gonna be hitting this year. So, okay, whoops, wait a minute, let me get back there. All right, so I shared this in our team page today. So we had for September, we had D, you were in the #1 spot for team sales. Congratulations with $1,537, plus you had the one recruit, which was awesome. Thanks. So Lynn, you were in second place with 993. Yay! Yay! We had Jimmy, which was in, or James, excuse me, 966. Colleen was 834 and Kim was 735. So congratulations to all of you guys. And all right, so now we get to this. And as Halloween, like I said, it's a scary month. So this is one of the things that I wanted to share with you guys, was my big, hairy, scary goal. And that means, hopefully you guys saw this. So I have a new goal for our team. So instead of shooting for senior director, which is only one director away, I figured, you know what, go big or go home. So we are now shooting for an executive director team. So you can see we have all of these positions filled so far. So to be a senior director team, we just need this position filled. For an executive director team, we need this, and this to be filled. Which
I don't see your screen.
What was that?
I don't see your screen.
Does anybody else see my screen?
I do.
Yeah.
You're
Lynn,
good on my end.
Okay. Lynn, what's wrong with you?
The heck if I know.
Lynn, are you the redheaded stepchild tonight?
I always am, darling. I always am.
So Lynn, what do you see?
Everybody's pictures.
Oh. Okay. So let's try it again. Do you see it now?
No, it's so weird.
That is weird. Because, okay, I don't really know what in the world, unless.
Lynn, check how you have it set up.
That's what I was looking at, Christy. I got it on gallery view or there's speaker view.
I don't know. What am I on? I'm on speaker. That's speaker view. Do gallery. I see it. Hi, sweetie.
Oh, there we go. I exited full screen. It was behind my screen.
Thank you. Awesome. Okay, so my question is, I want you guys to look at these. So look at these empty spots. Well, actually, all of you guys would be here. Ellen, you and your team would be, your team would be down here. But, and now we have, oh good. Shawanda's joining in, perfect. And Jimmy's joining in. So I want you guys to look at yourself and decide whether you want to see yourself up there. If you want yourself in one of those spots, give a shout out, message me, tell the team, whatever, but I want to hear from you, whether you want to see yourself in one of those positions.
We already talked.
I know.
I would love to see myself in that position.
Awesome, Carrie. So Lynn and I already talked, Carrie talked, perfect. Okay, so now we're gonna go to, I'm trying to yep, oh, shoot. Darn ADHD, really is terrible. So most of you guys already know that this month is our 40th anniversary of Pampered Chef, okay? So it's what we call Heritage Month, okay? So we celebrate the anniversary of Pampered Chef every October 15th, 1980. Some of you guys were probably not even born in 1980.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Oh, shut up.
5 years later, though, I was.
Okay.
I was only 4, so.
Okay.
All right, that's enough. That's enough.
So, all right. So Heritage Month is a celebration of Pampered Chef's most loved products, founding beliefs, and charitable partnerships. And like I said, this year marks the 40th anniversary of our first Pampered Chef party, which was by Doris Christopher. I can't imagine the fear and the anxiety that she must have felt going on that first party. she almost turned around. She tried to turn around and cancel it, but thankfully she didn't. All right. So hopefully you guys have noticed, looked in the marketing imagery. Okay. In the marketing imagery under promotions, there are things like this. Celebrating 40 years, what's your favorite Pampered Chef recipe? This one, Doris Christopher made a pizza on a stone at her first party. There are too many to share. There's like, I don't know, 8 or 9 of these different images that are fantastic for you. Share them in your personal page or your VIP page or even in your parties. But these are given to us from home office and they're free for us to use. So we might as well use them. All right. So now I'm going to talk about direct ship now. Well, I guess most of you guys have trained on that. So does anybody unmute yourself and ask if you have any questions?
I don't have a question,
Okay.
but I have a comment, and it's sort of, you know, a half and half thing. I understand that we were supposed to submit all parties by September 30th, but unfortunately I had a host who didn't get a chance to look, so we held it over to the first. And the problem I ran into was that because October 1st started a discount for one of her guests, that it showed that there was a credit to her account. So there was a little bit of confusion. So if you get a little confused or something comes up, don't hesitate to call. But a recommendation, talk to technical support first. Don't go right to the customer service, because I think a lot of them are still getting used to everything. Technical support walked me through all the steps, and he helped me out a lot, and he was able to get me to where I needed to go, and that we got everything resolved instead of making multiple phone calls. So
yes,
with the direct ship now.
tech support is absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
I did make sure that I had closed everything and I started new. I had parties that started on the 28th of September. And I went ahead, I dated them October 1st in my website, but I started them on Facebook October 28th. I just didn't share the link with anybody until October 1st. And so as a courtesy for them, I kept it open until today. So a lot of people, because we were only sharing the link from Thursday, I wanted to go ahead and you know, keep it open, give people time to order, and give people time to look at the catalog and all that kind of stuff. So that was basically a courtesy. So now I'm wrapping up those parties, getting them closed. So one of the things we have a guest speaker joining us at 8:30, and she is going to talk about bookings. However, I want to go ahead and skip that. I'm going to wait until she joins in, and I'm going to go ahead and talk about the next section, which is what I want to talk about. I mean, if you're going to talk about Halloween and being scared and stuff like that, I'm sure you guys have all seen the TV show Fear Factor. Yeah? Raise your hand.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So one of the things that I want to point out, okay, if you guys can see my book, there's a book called Take the Stairs by Rory Vaden. And when I actually got to meet him at my director promotion, and this is a motivational speaker, he talks about all sorts of stuff. He has a ton of books. And this one section in this book is what I briefly want to touch base on. And it's basically about fear, okay? And it says, you know, what's holding you back? The 3 faces of inaction, okay? In our work with clients, we consistently find that people are struggling with inaction or procrastination invariably have one of the following 3 deep-rooted attitudes. 1, fear. I'm scared to do it. 2 is entitlement. I shouldn't have to do it. And 3 is perfectionism. I won't try to do it if I can't do it right. So I'm only going to touch base on fear out of time. I just want to make sure that, but I want to go ahead and read this section in our, all right, well, there we go. So what is fear? All right, got my little ghost coming up there. All right, so it's an oldie but a goodie. Fear stands for false evidence appearing real. This is almost always what fear is. It's a fictional story by our own minds. Why do so many of us succumb to fear? Because it's more convenient and more comfortable for us to let our dreams disappear than to muster up the discipline and the work ethic to go out and transform them into reality. The payoff of fear is that we don't have to try, we don't have to work, and we don't have to challenge ourselves to test our limits. In other words, the escalator mindset allows our fears to thrive. So our work required to achieve our dreams doesn't have to. In contrast to take the stairs, that's the book, mindset demolishes our fears so that the only option is to work to make our dreams come true. Action is the cure for fear. So when we talk about, wait a minute. All right, sorry, I got ahead of myself. All right, so one last thing, it says, don't you have times like that in your life when you know what you should do, but you allow fear to hold you back? And it's okay to be scared. You just need to do it scared. It's okay to be unsure. Just do it unsure. And it's okay to be uncomfortable. Do it uncomfortable. Just get started where you are. That is the attitude of the most disciplined and successful people on the planet. Okay? You're going to develop the habit of acting in the face of fear. You're going to create movement and momentum. You are going to get closer to fear so that you can understand it and overcome it. So, let me bring up my little notes here because I have a little challenge for you guys. Okay? So, when we talk about trick-or-treating, okay, kids are not afraid. I know we have drilled in their heads, about stranger danger. But on Halloween, our kids dress up in their trick-or-treat or in their costumes, and they go out trick-or-treating without that fear of stranger danger. They're like, heck, my goal is to get candy. I don't care who I get it from. I just want to get it. So, and they just go up to the door and ask. They say, trick or treat, right? So they're not afraid to offer. So kids aren't afraid to do that. So my question is, as far as recruiting, why are we afraid to offer an amazing opportunity to people? Anybody want to shout out? Anybody know?
Rejection.
Fear of rejection is a big one. It definitely is, Dee. So one of the things is because we're focused on how it makes us feel, like rejection, as opposed to how it makes them feel. So you have to take yourself out of that equation. Okay? So this is where I want to challenge you guys. I know it gets scary, but that's what I said. This whole month is about being scared. So with our 40th anniversary this year, okay? So I want to challenge you to get over that fear by sharing the business with 40 people. Make a list, and every time you ask somebody this month about the business, write their name down. And your goal should be to ask 40 people. Bookings are a totally different subject. And as soon as Misty, director, joins in, she'll be joining in actually in about 7 or 8 minutes. As soon as she joins in, we'll be talking about bookings. So right now, we're talking about the recruiting. So let me see. So challenging you to share the business with 40 people, okay? That's in honor of our 40th anniversary. That's the trick. So what's the treat? Okay. The treat is for every new team member that joins our team in October, not only will you be entered into our upline National Executive Director Stacy Itzel's drawing, okay? She's doing a drawing for 40 Pampered Chef dollars. I'm also going to match that. And I'm also going to offer 40 Pampered Chef dollars. So you're gonna have double the chances when you invite somebody into our team, okay? So let me see if this is gonna bring it up. All right, so this is one of the things, all right? These are just some word options that I have for you guys. I can share them into the event just in case, but
Please, can you do that?
I will. But
Thank you.
this is something, so for a guest who comments on any recruiting post, okay? So we are lucky enough to have from home office posts that they give us for the business, okay? One of the ones that's super easy is about the perks, okay? So this is something, anytime somebody comments on one of your virtual parties about the perks, this is something you can just copy and paste. And in case you're wondering, like, I'll share this again, but you can just respond and say, thanks for sharing, which perk you would pick in my post. Did you know that a lot of consultants only do virtual parties, making it much easier for people like you who work full time? I'm curious, have you ever considered trying something like this? Super simple, super easy, and you can gear it towards them. If they don't work full time, you can change that part out. Another thing is for your hosts, Dee, I'm going to throw Dee under the bus here. Not under the bus, but I'm going to do this. You were such a fantastic host. You were commenting. You were doing everything that you would ever want. I don't always reach out and tell everybody that, but even though we should, but you were one of those rock star hosts that really I could see you doing a great job at this because you did such a good job at hosting. Okay. So copy and paste this. You're doing a really great job at this. I'm not sure if you ever thought about doing something like Pampered Chef, but I think you would make a great consultant. And my team is hosting an opportunity event this Sunday at 8 p.m. on Facebook. No commitment necessary. Would it be okay if I invited you? So we are going to set up another opportunity event for this Sunday night at 8 p.m. And do you see how when we offered that, it wasn't being pushy, it wasn't putting anybody on the spot, it was really asking them this is the host, I'm telling them, you were doing a great job at this, I think you would make a great consultant. Would it be okay if I invited you? It's super, super easy. And like I said, it takes that fear out of it because you're not saying, oh, you need to join my team right now. You need to do this. No, you're asking them. And you're putting the ball in their court. Guys, is that okay? You guys understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes? Okay. So hopefully I didn't, I think that's, all right, we're gonna wait on just a minute. So let me just stop sharing my screen for just a minute. So this is when I wanna ask you guys if you guys have any questions for me about all of that.
When you had when we were talking in the Moving Up and Pampered Chef meeting, you and Melissa had gone over something about asking 5 times. The first time was before the party started, and I don't think I wrote it down, and I just wanted to double check. Like, how often for the 5 times would you do it? I know the first time would be before the party started or as the party started, and then going from there. What would you recommend? Or
Right.
how would you do it?
So I normally do before the party starts.
Okay.
Again, as we're getting it set up, 2 times during the party,
Okay.
and then once again as we're closing things out.
Okay.
So when your host has, when you're talking to them about their host rewards, one of the big things is when they've earned a kit credit.
Okay.
So you want to let them know when they've hit that first level of the kit credit, and when you're closing things out again. So you can, to let them, especially this month, oh my gosh, if your hosts take that kit credit, they can join for $9. Like, I know, Angela, I just saw that. Look, yes, they can join for $9. And I will throw this big thing out there. I was scared to death when I joined. I did not want to, the recruiting or having a team was the last thing on my mind. I said, I'm new. I don't know anything about the business. I can't share with somebody what I don't know. But I have to say, in 8.5 years, I have learned an awful lot. And with the training that we have, it does not take a long time in this business to get to know things before you can share it with people. Because Ellen can certainly, share that as well. We have the opportunities to train people. And so Maritza, you're a brand new consultant, but you know what? I'm gonna, if you don't, hopefully you don't mind. I know Adele is new and Monica is new as well. But for all of you guys, we have Misty joining in just a second. So when you guys are thinking about, I know it might be scary to be sharing that business, sharing the opportunity with other people, but imagine if you had somebody, one of your friends, joining and learning with you. So not necessarily like you wouldn't be on your own training a new consultant. You would have us to be helping you along. So you would be learning alongside your recruits that join. We wouldn't just be dumping you on there, just to let you know. All right, so I want to go ahead and admit and bring Misty in here because she is going to be talking. So as soon as she joins, I had a screen for her, but I'm not even going to go back to that. I just want to go ahead and, talk to her. So as soon as Misty, when you bring, we're welcome and we're ready for you when you're joining in. So, all right. So I want to introduce a fellow director from Massachusetts, Misty Legault. So thank you for joining us. And Misty, are you on, whose team are you on?
Stacy's. I'm under Stacy direction.
Oh, okay. With Steve and so I
know it's like so many now. You're like, I don't know who's who.
Yeah, she's in our big organization. But Misty had a wonderful training, I guess, that Stacy kind of put her on the spot about bookings, and it was really an awesome training that you have no idea how many people learned from this opportunity. So I am going to go ahead and turn everything over to Misty. If you need me to share the screen or do anything like that, you just let me know.
Okay, all right. So hi everybody, and thanks for having me. I'm excited. So basically what I had done, and I'll kind of give you my background. So I promoted to director in December. It was actually my second time promoting to director because the first time I promoted, I did end up losing it. And because I didn't have enough bookings, right? So now like this time I'm like, this is not happening. August, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with like the director requirements, but you go 3 months without making your numbers and that's when you lose your title. So August was another month 3 for me. Scary. I had 1 booking on my calendar. That's it. That's all I had. Supposed to have 16 at least. That's what my goal is. So I had 1, and Stacy basically saved my business by sending me just a simple email to answer some questions. I was like, oh, this is easy. I can answer these questions. Then she sent me another one, and I was like, I see where this is going. So I felt a little tricked, but it was great tricked. So it basically was a final booking blitz, and I think, Terry, you did it, right? Did you do the final booking blitz?
I
So
did it
that's
with
what
the
it was.
Director Bound group.
Okay, all right, great. So basically what this was is you got the wording, but the way the program worked, I was terrified because you basically had to start at the top of your Facebook friends list and go down and ask every single person. And so how many of you have said, oh, I've gone through my friends list, nobody wants to book, I've contacted every single one of them. I can tell you, I'm like, nope. Did all my friends. Well, then I went to my friends and there's like 900. And I'm like, there is no way that I have asked 900 people to host parties. Because you know what I did? I would do my green dotting and I'd be like, no, they're not going to want to have one. Nope, no, they're not going to have one. So I'm not going to ask them. See, Tara knows what I'm talking about. You're laughing. We've all done it, right? Have you all done that? Every one of you probably has done that. So this was very much like you literally have to get over that fear. I messaged every single person. Everyone, just sent it. I didn't let myself think about it. I didn't care who they were. I didn't care if they were related to me. I didn't care if I have not talked to them in 15 years and we're just Facebook friends. I sent it anyways because you don't know when somebody needs Pampered Chef. And when you're coming from a place of helping them, mine was very much a listen, I don't care about your sales. I just want to be in there. I want to give your friends some new recipes because we all need that right now, right? We're all stuck in our kitchens. So we all need new recipes. We all need to be having fun because we can't actually get together. So let's get together online, have some fun, make it about them and make it about their friends, right? So don't come off like desperation language. But it took a lot of like copy send, and shut your brain off. Like just shut it off. But a huge part of mine was tracking. I tracked every single, and it was something simple, right? It doesn't have to be like an elaborate system. I just wrote their name down. I wrote how I contacted them because some of them were my guests in my party. So I was doing Facebook messaging. I was texting. I was emailing. Pretty much any way I could reach out to people, I was reaching out to them. Because the reason you want to track follow-up is a huge part of when you're sending messages. So if they don't answer you, I don't go any more than 48 hours, right? Always follow up. Because how many times have you read a message when you're in the middle of something, you're like, oh, I shouldn't have read that yet because I can't reply. I'll just reply later. And you completely forget, right? So always follow up is key. So if you have a system, you're going to be able to say, you're going to be able to track those no's because your no's just as important as the yeses, right? So at the end of this, guys, without prejudging, I added 10 bookings onto my August calendar. 10. I added a total of 17 because I got some for September and October because I got to my friends list and I'm like, oh, they just hosted a month ago. And this is where I had to catch myself because I said, no, they already hosted. They hosted a couple months ago. They're not going to want to host again. And then I thought to myself, well, really, if I did what I was supposed to do, they would already be on my calendar again because you always want to rebook your host for at least 6 months out. So I said, you know what? I came up with some different wording for my past hosts and I got 5 out of 6 of my parties were all past hosts that booked this year already. So they've already had a party this year and they're having another one. So that's what all like my September, October right now, those are all past hosts. I got 6 parties from follow-up messages. So if I just let those sit there and say, oh, they read it, they're not interested because they didn't write back to me, that's 5 or 6 parties I wouldn't have had on my calendar if I didn't follow up. So follow up is key. What do they say? The magic is in the follow-up. Is that what we say?
The fortune is in the follow-up.
Fortune is in the follow-up. That's what it is.
And the FU.
Yeah. Yes, an FU.
I'm looking at my notes here, and all
I
my
did the
stuff
same
is like,
thing.
F you, F you, F you.
Yes, yes, yes. So like guys, I would really like if you want to add bookings onto your calendar, I truly encourage you. I mean, go back. If I mean, Tara, that's totally up to you if you want to do the final booking.
I do.
You know, with everybody, like when Tara sends this out to you guys and you have the opportunity to do this, do it. Because I'm telling you, I had my first $5,000 month in personal sales by adding all these bookings onto my calendar. So if I hadn't done this, and this is why I said it saved my business, like literally saved my business, because I had a little over 5,000 in sales and I have 7 people on my team. We were very close to hitting $6,000 for the first month. But think about that, right? Almost 6,000 and a little over 5,000 of that was mine, because me as a leader, like, I got to do this. Like, I can't let my team down. And one huge, like, I can't tell you how much I idolize Stacy. And when she sends me something and tells me like I need to prove to her that I'm doing it, and I'm like, oh, I can't let Stacy down. Like when Stacy tells me like you need to send me screenshots of your contacts, I was like, okay. Like, I just did it. But it went from not wanting to let Stacy down to not wanting to let myself down and not wanting to let my team down. Because I can't tell you how much it crushed me to lose my title. I will never, ever let it happen, ever. Like my rule is I'll never get to a month 3 again. So, you know, the idea is with the booking glitch, you're going to book the first 2 weeks of the month. So say you guys started this month, right? You're going to book your next 2 weeks with 8 total parties. So 4 parties a week. But then your last 2 weeks are going to be bookings from those 8 parties from the beginning of the month. So it kind of teaches you, and it gives you all the wording is there. And Tara, I can actually send you, I put it on the, I kind of took Kristen's words from the booking blitz and I put those on a document. But I also did the wording that I used for my past hosts. If you want to send that to them. So I'll send that to you so you can share that.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, like seriously, it's a game changer, and it starts with your calendar. Starts with your calendar, and I promise if you go to your friends list, you're going to have that same like epiphany that I did, and be like, there's no way I asked all of these people. And you're going to be real surprised at the yeses that you get, because they are people that I probably didn't send messages to a couple months ago because I gave myself some excuse as to why they wouldn't. So I truly, truly like encourage you all to do the final booking blitz. Like if you want to take your business farther, start with your calendar. And it's after you send the first couple, like I promise it's not as scary. Then you're just like, oh, I got this. And you start getting your yeses. And then the more yeses you get, the more messages you're going to want to send, because it gets real exciting when you start to see your calendar booking up. Like I was so excited to go from 1 to 10. And I did this in a weekend. It wasn't like a full week of me doing this. It was like a 2 to 3 day thing where I went from 1 to 10, but it was because I put the work in, right? Don't just sit back and be like, oh, the bookings are going to come to me. They're not going to come to you. They're not going to fall in your lap. Like you have to work for it. So I would absolutely 100% like encourage you guys to go for it. If you really want your business to take off and people are booking parties, don't let yourself tell yourself, oh, they're not booking right now because of COVID. They're not booking right now because of the shipping time. They're not booking right now because of inventory. I've had $400 and $500 orders, you guys. Like there's plenty for them to order, I promise. Plenty for them to order. So don't let yourself give yourself the excuses. Just hit it. Hit the send button and go. Just go with it. And tracking is a huge, huge important part. However you want to do it, like you come up with your own system. That's not something that, you know, I mean, we have one director that she does it all in her head. God bless her, because.
Who is that?
Nicole Seiler.
Oh.
All in her head. Like what? No. I am Miss Old School Paper Pen. Well, need to write it down.
This is what I have.
Yes,
so,
exactly.
I mean, this is just like the middle of my book, but you can see where I've got a date, a person, and I've got like how I reached out to them.
Mm-hmm.
And F is Facebook, T is text, E is email.
It's something simple.
Yep.
So simple.
Super
I even
simple.
highlight when I get a yes, I highlight that sucker in pink. When I get a no, I highlight those too, right? Because the no's are important. You have to get your no's to get to those yeses. I
Yep.
put down maybes and then a date to follow up with them. And it can be simple. If you like computers, do it on an Excel sheet. Just track. However you want to do it, it's just important to do it. So yes, I highly encourage you guys to do it.
Well, I will be sending that out because I
Okay,
have
I'll
that
send it to you.
from Stacy to send out. So if I want to ask if anybody has any questions for Misty.
Oh, look at James's cute little puppy. I love puppies.
Yeah, she kind of likes to be all in my face because she's all about her. Um, so as far as your follow up, I mean, what was your time frame, and how often do you follow up on the same person?
So no more than 48 hours. So you do like 1 to 2 days, even if they read your message. That's
Right.
probably the most important time you want to send. And
Right.
you're just sending them something like, hey, just wanted to check in. I know life gets crazy. Like, I just want to make sure you saw my message from a couple days ago. And if it's something you'd be interested in, I don't want you to miss out on the awesome host rewards, right? So make it about them and you don't want them missing out.
Right.
You follow up with them until they give you a no. Because until they tell you no, it is not no.
Right.
And so, I mean, my third message, just checking in again. Really don't want you to miss out. And I don't want to be a nag either. So just let me know either way. If it's a yes, that's fine. Or I'll say if it's like a no, that's fine. Just let me know either way because I don't want to keep bugging you and nagging you.
I mean, because I've already had a couple of my hosts. Like I just had one of my hosts from September. That was her second party since July when I signed up. So I'm kind of like recycling them. So
So since she's having one now,
she had her first one in July, the month I signed up, and she had her second one in September, and then I'm booking her, I think, again in December. She wanted the deluxe air fryer. She didn't meet the quota in July, so I talked her into the quick cooker because she kind of wanted that too, and she was able to get all that stuff with it. And then her party in September was for the air fryer.
see, and that's perfect. You literally use the air fryer to get
Oh
another
yeah, I'm
booking.
using the deluxe cooking blender too because that's how I booked my party for November.
It's like whatever you have to use, but it's a great example, James, of right how even if you come upon a past host, don't prejudge and say, well, they just had a party, they're not going to have another one. You literally have one having one every 2 months with you right now.
Yeah, no, I pretty
That's
much
the
told her, I'm
perfect
like, I know
example.
you want the deluxe air fryer, so let's just take a break in August and we'll sign back up in September and try it again.
Yeah, see, that's brilliant.
Well,
And it worked,
see,
right?
And
Yeah.
James, that's another thing. So I don't know if you've offered her the business opportunity or not, but she really wanted that
have.
air fryer.
I have. She's my sister. She's the consultant for Scentsy, so
Okay.
I've offered it to her. Believe me,
Yeah.
I'll probably try and get her in sooner or later.
Every party 5 times. Everyone.
Yes. And
It's
especially the
faster.
people, like the people that the customers of mine that want the air fryer,
Yeah.
I always offer them and say, look, there's 2 ways that you can get this. And I offer them the business and then hosting. So
I've been talking about it, like I said, because I told her, I said, look, people can go without wax melts. I said, but you can't go without food. I said, it's, yeah, I pulled that card. It's family, so I get to do that.
yeah.
Oh, that's hysterical.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
I mean, I'm a candle person myself, but
See, I'm not. I don't do candles. My husband's a builder and he's rebuilt so many houses that have been burned down by candles. So I'm like, nope. No, I'll do like the wax melts. At least they're like by the light bulb thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't even
because
light them most
you
of
have
the
to get
time.
mine through Party Light, so they're all like, they're safe. They're not like freestanding or anything like that. So I just light them for like 4 or 5 hours and let them burn the tea lights, and then it usually heats up the house, so it saves me money on the electric bill. So by the time I go to bed, like they're self-extinguishing. So.
Well, see, the good thing is you can compare that with Pampered Chef. If you're cooking enough good food, then guess what? That scent from that food is like filling the house.
Right. You know, like save money on your electric bill by cooking at home. You know.
Yeah.
Tara, I was going to say tomorrow I challenge you to open all of your windows, all of your doors, and cook the most fragrant meal and have all of your neighbors coming around you seeing, ooh, what is that that smells good?
Oh, my windows are already open. I've actually contemplated doing that.
Yeah, see, we don't have screens on our windows.
Oh.
Oh, that won't work then. You'll have unwanted visitors.
Well, we have, so Misty, my husband has 5 sisters and 4 of them live in our neighborhood.
Okay.
Oh, so
Oh, I
yeah,
remember you
be
telling me
able
that's
to-
a director retreat.
Yeah, so we
Okay.
get family that shows up all the time. And then my parents live live nearby. So my father shows up all the time. So we have to like close the curtains and close the blinds and stuff to
We're
keep
not
nobody
home.
else.
Lights off.
Hey, Tara, are your trick-or-treaters the ones that don't come for the candy? They come for the good dinners?
We don't have much trick-or-treaters. So we live in an old neighborhood, but well, Misty, I really thank you. That was absolutely awesome.
You're welcome.
And yeah, so I if you can share with me that the wording and the document and stuff, I'd love to be able to share that with everybody.
Yeah, for sure. I'll send it to you. Do you want me to email it or do you want me to send it in Messenger? Or does it matter?
Either one.
Either one. Okay.
Can I ask a question real quick before she leaves?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, Misty, this is probably something you've probably already touched on and maybe I missed out on it, but one of the things that I keep running into a problem with is I follow up with people. I'll do the 48-hour thing. I'll do, I'll follow up with them like 2 or 3 more times after that, and I get nothing. When do you get to a point where you just don't even try anymore?
I don't.
So you just keep.
Yeah, and I mean, and normally I'll be honest, like normally when I say to them, kind of let me know either way and
Okay.
give them that okay to tell you no, they'll usually respond to me every time. Like I don't usually have to go past that.
Okay.
So I guess it would depend. I guess like check on your wording, maybe send it to Tara and see what
Okay.
Tara thinks and she can probably help you and maybe you can change up the wording a little bit. But as soon as you give them that okay to tell you no, I mean, I don't normally like, it's fine, just tell me no. I don't, maybe after like the 3rd or 4th one, I'll say that.
Okay.
And that's usually when they'll answer me because then it's almost like a hint to them as well. Like, I don't want to have to keep sending you messages either because, at
Yeah.
a certain point, yes, like it's a waste of my time, but you just can't tell them that.
Yeah.
So usually if you give them the okay that it's all right if you tell me no, and if you don't want to, like that's fine. Just give them
Okay.
the okay to do that.
All right.
And then they're just
So,
like, oh no, I can't
That
because
just triggered a question for me. Have you ever recycled a no?
What do you mean?
Meaning somebody tells you no, let's say after the first few times, you're like, no, they don't really give you an answer as to why they're saying no, but they
Mhm.
just kind of like say no. So do you ever kind of like, depending on how long you've been in the business, like wait maybe like 6 months and then circle around again, say, just to kind of like keep the line open, whether, even if you started off as, hey, we have some really great products that you might be interested in. I know you weren't interested in hosting a party, but, I don't want you to feel like that's the only way you can enjoy, the fun stuff kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I absolutely would. If you need bookings on your calendar, I would always like circle back and be like, hey, I know when I asked you a couple months ago, it was a no. Just wanted to check back in. Like, this is our amazing host rewards this month. So I just wanted to check in with you again to see if you've changed your mind or if anything has changed and you feel it's a better time to have a party now.
Okay.
Absolutely would. Yes. 100%.
Well, I was going to say what I've done to people who have told me no right off the bat or told me not right now. I'll say to them, can I get back in contact with you in a couple months?
Yes.
So,
yep. Always ask them if
Yep.
you can follow up for sure.
yeah.
And then make sure you do follow up.
Yes, Ellen. Yes.
Ask them for that permission.
Yep.
And that's fine. You have to be comfortable and honor what people are saying. But if you say, and you can say to somebody, is that no like right now, or is that no for never? You know, maybe it's just a rough time for them. Maybe it's back to school. Who knows? I mean, you know, I've had people tell me that they, you know, have medical procedures scheduled. I'm like, okay, great. I am certainly saying a prayer for you. Can I check back with you after you're feeling a little bit better? And then I always ask them. I don't just leave like, I'll just check back with you, whatever, you know. Depending on how the conversation has gone, like, well, when's a good time to check back in? Like, when's a good month to check back in? And then I say to them, okay, I'll check back with you. If they say March, I'll say, oh, that's awesome. We have new products coming out. I'll check in with you in the middle of February so we can get a March date on the calendar. And then you just have to make sure with your tracking system, whether it's digital, whether it's a notebook, whether it's Google Calendar, whatever you do, you set that reminder for yourself and maybe make a couple notes so you know what it's about, you know, to check in with Anna, who said that she, you know, wanted to do a party in March. You know, because that's genuine, and that's going to show that you are, you know, invested in that relationship with communicating with Anna, because that's what she said she wanted and you're honoring it.
Yeah, that actually brings up a good point, and I just ran into this and I didn't even think to mention it. So I was booking from my current party and I was doing the host booking challenge, but of course I said, oh, this is the date that I'm booking, right? Like we always give them a date because we want control of our own calendar. She said, nope, I can't do, you know, this month. Don't be afraid to go back to them and say, well, you know what? Like I went back to her and said, well, listen, in order for your host to get credit, the booking can be 6 months out, because she pretty much told me like the next couple months are not good. She said that straight out. So it gave me the opportunity to say, well, you know what? You can book within 6 months. She said, oh, really? We booked in February. So don't be afraid to say, I mean, I know it's like way out, but it's going to be a booking on my calendar in February when the time comes, you know?
Well, and Missy, I did that. So I had a couple cancellations this month, and I was like looking at it going, okay, it's not quite where I want it to be. So I was trying to figure something out, and I'm looking in my closet going, all right, I have a ton of stuff like I can raffle off. So I am doing a drawing for, I posted on my page, I'm doing a drawing for the cast iron, the enameled cast iron. The two smaller pans, not the Dutch oven, but the bigger ones. And so I posted on my page, on my personal page, my VIP page, that I was doing a giveaway. I was like, who wants in? So I had all these people commenting. And any of the people that, of course, the people that just hosted with you because of Facebook algorithms, they're the first ones that are going to see it. I was like, come on, can I get other people? So all these people, so you know what? I've booked 6 of those parties for March.
Yep.
So all of those people that hosted, I was like, look, I know that you just hosted, we just closed your party a week ago. I know that you don't want to get in on the drawing. I'll give you 1 entry into the drawing, but I'll give you, you know, I was giving people like 1 entry for commenting. And then once I talked to them behind the scenes, I was offering them like 25 extra entries if they booked a party this month. And then some of the people were like, well, you know, no, we just closed our party. So I was like, look, I know that you just did that. So how about we book in a couple of months? Our new products come out in March. Can we do that? And like I said, so 5 of them did that. I gave them a couple extra points to book their parties in March. So it doesn't hurt to actually look. I mean, you want to go, your goal is to book your next available parties. You want to fill them up, but you don't want to turn somebody away if they're going to book anyway. Right. So you can certainly book them down the road.
Yeah, you don't want to be like, oh no, I'm booking October. I'm not booking you at all. You know, no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Always give them that opportunity to go a couple months out if they want to.
Yes. So, all right. Any more questions?
I'm good.
Nope. All right. Well, I thank you very much, Misty.
No problem. Thank you.
Yes, it was very nice for you to join in with us tonight. So thank you
for having me, guys.
Yes,
thank you, Misty.
Very much.
Bye. You're welcome.
Thank you,
Have a good night,
Misty.
guys. You're welcome.
All right. So we are almost finished, and we got 2 minutes left. Right. So I just have basically, I did all of the stats. I did the recognition before. So that's pretty much already done. So the only last thing that we want to talk about is selling. Okay. So ways to increase your sales in the month of October. All right. Misty told you how to get a ton of bookings on your calendar. I'm going to be sending this to every single person on our team tomorrow. So you'll be look for a message from me or email from me or a text. I have to decide which way I want to send it to you. But I will be sending that about the booking blitz tomorrow. Okay. But as far as once you've got those bookings to get the extra sales for October, okay, I didn't share it in there. I shared it on our team page, but once you get $1,000 in sales this month, then you do get that anniversary scraper. So those are really pretty cool to have to commemorate. It's signed by Doris Christopher. Really neat option to be able to share with people. So one of the things is sharing about the anniversary. It's a big celebration. Okay. So and like I shared in the marketing imagery, a couple of things that you can share in your team page, your VIP page or your personal page, is asking people what product got you hooked on Pampered Chef. What's your favorite Pampered Chef product? You can share all those kind of things, and then when people start sharing, you can certainly reach out to them behind the scenes. Another thing is you can share on there. Okay, so this was one of the ones. Which product got you hooked on Pampered Chef? All right, in honor of our 40th anniversary, go live and tell customers your 3 favorite all-time products, okay, and why you can't live without them. All right, mention that we're celebrating 40 years and of durable, high-quality products that save time and build kitchen confidence. Okay, and heads up, our social media channels, okay, will feature lots of pizza stories this week. All right, if the Pizza Stone is at the top of your favorites list, then make sure to check them out. The Pampered Chef Facebook page, they're sharing all sorts of things. It's very easy to share that. Like, go on there and share it from your screen. Share it, the recipes that they're going to be sharing and the products. I don't know about you guys, but for me, whenever I talk to people at in-person parties or virtual parties, one of the biggest things is, oh yeah, I have the Pizza Stone. So that's when you can come out and you can certainly tell people the differences between the new stones and the old stones. So have any of you guys come across that in the past? I mean, in your parties where people would say, what's the difference between the new stones and the old stones?
I did. The last party I had, everybody always loves the Stones.
Right.
And as soon as they found out that they were reinvented, that we have new ones, I had a couple of people that still have the old ones and purchased new. Yeah.
Good.
I haven't had anyone ask about it yet, but I have had people say, oh, well, I have the Pizza Stone or have a stone. And I tell them that they restyled them and that it could be preheated in your oven with your oven, and it could go in the dishwasher.
Yep. That's a great way. You tell them it's basically the same stone with 2 added features. So it's not like it looks any different other than the bottom part. Everything else looks the same. They act the same. They work the same, except for they can be preheated. They can go up to a higher 550 degrees, I believe. Is that, Ellen? Is that right? 550 degrees? Yeah. I know the Rock Crux are 752. So the new stones are 550. And you know what? I can remember numbers like crazy, but I'm terrible at math. But that's
just thank God we don't have to do that Common Core stuff, that we're past that. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
Hey, I have to share something. So 8.5 years ago, when Stacy asked me to join Pampered Chef, my biggest fear at first was that I was going to have to figure out math-wise people's orders. I was so scared. I was like, I can't do that. I can't do that. And I couldn't figure out manually how to add the 10% and the discounts and all of that kind of stuff. I was so afraid of that. And when she told me that everything was done by the computer, I was like, phew, okay, I could do that. So we all have our fears in this business. So that was really, that was real. Oh, no, one last thing. Where's Lynn? Okay. So that was the very last,
Right here.
this is the very last thing that I wanted to touch base on. So as far as sales go, okay, sharing it, going live on your page, sharing in your parties and stuff. Lynn shared with me, we had a little talk the other day, and Lynn was telling me about something that she did and about getting some sales. So do you remember that conversation, Lynn? I didn't double check with you, but if Lynn could share this, I know we're in a little bit of a difficult time with COVID and stuff, but Lynn, go ahead and share that real quick.
My place down the beach was having a community yard sale. So I set up all my Pampered Chef stuff. The people that were very interested, I had raffle tickets with me. I had the scraper to raffle off, and I had the flexible cutting mats. And then I also had a pair of silicone gloves that I told them the first person that booked a party with me gets the silicone gloves. I've gotten 4 orders out of it for my last party, and I got a booking for this month from it, which is nice because it's a booking from not somebody I know. So I'm finally getting branched out to other people.
Yep. So when Lynn and I were talking about it, I said that's one of the biggest problems that we run into is when we start our business, we start with our friends and family. Yep. And the key to branching out your business is to break out of that circle. So sometimes when you get into that rut or you get into, you know, where you're stumped and you're like, all right, I've gone through all my friends and family, something like that. You know, if you really can't branch out and you're struggling with your, you know, green dotting and stuff like that, if your community, if they're allowing, you know, yard sales and stuff like that, that is
I'd like to start doing some vendor events now.
Yep. There are some vendor places that are starting. Some are still more virtual, but just keep an eye out for that and basically spreading that word, making sure that all of your friends and family and past that.
And I had my books with me. So the party I was running was a fundraiser at the time for suicide prevention. So I wrote the party ordering link right on my book and gave it to them.
Yep. That's some great advice.
Now, I was going to say one of the things with the vendor events is be careful too, because apparently there's been some scams where people have sent money in and it's a robot or someone who, you know, is going on there and just sending out messages to random people.
Yeah, I'm one of the admins on the Maryland Vendor and Craft Show board. Mm-hmm. And so I'm extra cautious now trying to scan people before I let them in.
Yep.
I think that detective in me is like kicking into gear because I'm like doing some background.
And the sad part is,
you messed with the wrong person, buddy.
And the sad part is nowadays, you know, there's so many people that have too much time on their hands and are sitting on computers and just stalking people.
Yep. So.
Hey, Tara, just a quick question for you. You were saying, just to recap, you were saying about the posting the recipes and other things on the Pampered Chef Facebook page that we could share them. We can share them to parties or just to our business page and our personal.
Just share them to your like your personal page or your VIP page, or I'm not sure. I guess you can share them to your business page, but most of the time, so your business page is like your storefront.
Mm-hmm.
They say so. Your business page is your storefront. That's where you're going to share the specials. You're going to share special things about Pampered Chef. Your VIP page is a group that's much more personal. That's where you're going to share like funny things and special recipes, and you know, some interactive posts. Sometimes I'll share gardening tips. I'll share, you know, different things that's much more personal in there.
Okay.
And your business page, I don't post very often. I
Okay.
post at the beginning of the month, and then maybe once every 2 weeks or so I'll
Okay.
post in there. I use that mainly for my parties. My VIP post, my VIP page is something that I try to post daily. I've been really bad the last couple weeks, and now I've gotten back into it where at least I'm posting Monday through Friday now, just because, just to keep it more engaged, to keep, you know, everybody engaged. And with all of the 40th anniversary stuff, I'm spacing it out. Like on my VIP page, I picked, like, Monday was, you know, before it was like Motivation Monday. Tuesday was Tip Tuesday. Wednesday was What's New Wednesday. Thursday was Thirsty Thursday, and Friday was Friday Favorites. And so I just kind of came up with that. I just kind of went along with it. And, you know, I mean, like, I went to the Guinness Brewery the other night. So Thursday, I have something, I don't know, I just thought about it, and I was like, okay, let's share something from Guinness. So I shared something. It has nothing to do with Pampered Chef, but I have that scheduled. So my posts for my VIP page are scheduled for, you know, for this week. And we just take it from there. So, all right, I know that I'm going to go ahead and stop recording. Whoops.